But if people are listening to this program now, they should be able to, I mean, people that have not married before, should be able to pick that. For me to marry, I have to marry my friend.
Alright guys, welcome back to our channel, Reality Entertainment TV, and today I have not just an interesting topic, I have amazing people that will be joining me on this topic, and trust me, you're going to enjoy it. I call this the special edition because it's very special. So why don't you stick around and find out what we have in store for you. But before you do that, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, welcome back. So today I have amazing people join me. I have from my right, I think I'll start from my right. I have Mr. and Mrs. Sanctus. Mr. Sanctus and his wife, Mrs. Moujeke. On my right, I have a very pretty woman. I have to bring her here because she's an interesting individual. She's a Mrs. Ogechukwu Oraka, the CEO of Biroku Oil Venture. Good to have you, ma.
Thank you.
Then I have a very, very good friend. He's a priest that I consider very, very cool because he's very learned. I like having conversations with him, and I'm very certain that you guys will enjoy his opinion on the topic today. I have Reverend Father Maximus Moujeke, the chaplain, Archbishop Obiofina Retreat and Pastoral Center, Oka. Father, good to have you on the show. Then lastly, I have on my right hand, last but not the least, I have Mr. Ogemde, the bishop. He's actually co-founder of Reality Entertainment TV.
Not ordained.
Yeah, he's not ordained. Bishop, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, bro.
Alright guys, let's get to it. The topic. You know, I have a couple, I have a married woman. You know, the husband couldn't be here, but I think she's going to be representing both her and the husband. Then I have a priest whom is a very seasoned marriage counselor. He has been doing this for 18 years. Then I have, I think the only single person on this very platform is the unordained bishop. So now we're going to be looking at inviting the third party, guys. Inviting the third party. For married couples, it's assumed, you know, when you take your vows right there on the altar, you pledge to for better, for worse, in sickness and in health. Is, you know, the two things, 1 + 1 is 1. Nobody else involved. Now, but there's always, because we're all human beings, there's always instances or occasions where we'll have dispute as couples. Now the question, is there at any point, as a married couple, as a married individual, that you have to bring in a third party, someone else, maybe to come resolve your differences in a situation where the two couples involved could not or were not able to set aside these differences? I think I'll start from my right with you, Mr. Sanctus. You're here with your wife. So let me make it personal. Has there been any point where you and your wife had to bring in someone else to settle your differences?
Yes, and that person is God Almighty.
Oh wow!
Not a human.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
God Almighty.
Yeah, not a human being. We've had our issues, but we've never had a third party come into our marriage to say anything. If we have issues with ourselves, we call ourselves and discuss it and solve it there.
You never had to bring in anybody?
No.
You never had to report to your friend, your relative, or anybody?
It's been 15 years.
Wow. They've been married for 15 years and nobody has ever been involved in your issues. Alright. Okay, I have further questions for you. But before I do that, let me get to our pretty mommy here. Mrs. Ogechukwu Oraka. Okay. I think one interest, I wanted you to be on the platform because I've been to your home. It's a very lovely home. And I admire, I feel this is what a happy home should be. You understand? You have a very welcoming family. And it makes me wonder, do you guys ever have issues, you know, between you and your husband? You know, do you guys even fight at all? Like have disagreement like normal couples? Let's start from there.
Of course.
Okay.
No matter how you love each other, you must have a disagreement because you guys are not from the same background. But what I do, or when the argument ensues, I don't allow it
to last long.
Yeah, either I keep quiet and then find a quiet time or a conducive time to discuss better. I've learned to, or rather, we're taught not to invite third party in our arguments or in our disputes, right from marriage classes and all that. And sometime, I think it was once, my husband tried involving my sister.
Wow.
You know what she told him?
No.
Do your things yourself because I was not there.
No,
There's no way I can know anything about it because I was not there, and you cannot tell me everything that happened. There's no way. So since then, you don't.
So how about you? Your husband tried to get his sister involved. You know, that's relative. Most times, people want to find someone they can confide in. So have you at any point felt like talking to someone, maybe your mom, your friend, about maybe a little fight that you had with your hubby?
Yeah, I get tempted to do that. I'll be like, at a time I will now like, I'll be planning. Before I know it, I'm done with it. I don't want to discuss it again.
Everything is settled. Wow.
Because I'm not really a talking type, and expressing myself might not, they won't really understand where I'm coming from. So I'd rather talk that with him in our own. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, you guys are able to resolve whatever it is successfully.
Sure.
Without involving anybody.
No.
All right, Father, let me get to you. I would say you're officially a third party because from your
I am.
The area of your profession demands that you talk to married people, you counsel them.
Yes.
You know, and most of them do come to, maybe they bring reports, you know, about their spouses and all that. So from your perspective or from your own point of view, what do you think couples, you know, should do? Like, is it really a good thing for couples to bring in a third party? What's your opinion about that? What's your view about that?
The simple statement, anything I'm saying here is my personal opinion. I'm representing no institution on this.
Okay.
The simple statement is that marriage is between the two partners, the parties. Every other person who is a third party is a guest. Between them and God, of course. The others are guests, and you know how we treat guests. The best treatment. So, but you can't exclude other human beings in any relationship because relationship is social. So marriage is also a social institution. But bringing in the third party should not ever be the first recourse. Not the first recourse, but the last resort.
So it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. So you're saying it might not really be wrong for couples to get a third party involved.
Yes.
So if that should happen, would you think couples should get involved? Because I believe it's not just bringing anybody. If there's some people you might complain to or run to, they might end up escalating the whole thing between the couples. So do you think maybe the couple should have a certain people they could talk to if there is need to talk to a third party?
Yeah, but they shouldn't just say these are the only people we should be talking to in matters. They would know people who can help. There should be people who understand relationship, marriage, from whichever perspective the issue arises. But they should know the right people that can help.
Like experts.
Marriage counselors?
Marriage counselors.
Okay, let me come in, please. I have a friend that he's married. He told me that I should never get married to someone that has no one she listens to, because many times the wife's sister has always saved the marriage. Then again, I also have a relative that the husband had to call his mom to talk to her because the wife listens to his mom. So are you saying that it's not advisable to have look out for someone that your wife or your husband listens to, at least if it becomes very serious? I don't know.
Let me come in there because you know, I've heard that several times, that the worst thing you can do is to marry somebody who doesn't have anybody that can call the person to order. But the first that I heard that, I looked at my man like, who can call you to order more than me? That's the truth.
Okay.
He's the only one who can call me to order. In the sense that you know who you're marrying to. If you're marrying to a good person, let me use that word, someone with good character, someone with good morals, naturally that person should be someone who is respectful. But when it comes to the person who can call you to order, if your partner cannot call you to order, then there is a problem.
Okay.
That's my opinion. If your partner cannot call, your partner has to call somebody to call you to order. For me, I think that's not a good thing.
So
I don't believe in, don't marry someone who, everybody, you should respect everybody.
Exactly
You
that.
need to respect
To buttress her
everybody.
point, some people are so stubborn. I think the main thing here should be love. If there is love from day one, I think we should be able to, no matter how angry you guys are, at a point in time, you try, knowing that you love her, you try to resolve things yourself. Where people normally get third parties when they're so stubborn, when there is no love, when there is no accommodation, they don't even want to Now, even when that third party comes, it's still a problem. You are telling this person, no. It takes a miracle of God.
How about when there is a problem of pride? Because I believe that
That's
could
the
be
same.
That's the thing.
When you
There's
don't
no
marry
love
someone
if there's
who has
pride.
character.
Let me come in here.
There's no love.
See,
That's nice.
there is one thing. At the point we became kind of marriage. What do you call it?
Yeah, marriage.
Councilors.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
in church for
those who are preparing
for marriage.
Wow.
One thing I know I tell them is, if you know this person is not your friend, don't get into this. If you know this person you are marrying to, this woman or this man, is not your friend, that's where I start from.
That's number one.
Not even love. Whoever you want to marry should be your friend.
The best friend even.
Yes,
Yes,
friend.
there's something
Friend.
like that, best friend. I hear children nowadays, youth saying my bestie. Somebody who is married will say, I
Then
have
another
a
person is
bestie.
his bestie.
I have a bestie. It's so wrong.
Now, the interesting question is,
So your
How-
husband or
how
your
do
wife
you know?
should be your best friend.
I agree. But how do you know this person is your friend? Because I believe for most people, the difficulty is ascertaining
Who is your friend?
who is your friend. Exactly. Because people can come to you and be nice and all that, and you're like, okay, this is a friend. And at the end of the day, I think we've all been in that position at some point where you find out this person you assume to be a friend
He's not your friend.
is not really a
That is
friend.
where
Yeah.
courtship comes in.
Okay?
That's where in courtship, that's the point where you understand yourselves. As a human being, you can't pretend for 2 years. Let me just say 2 years. If except the other person is so
Sorry,
daft.
courtship 2 years?
No,
I'm
just
just
saying,
saying.
even
I'm
6
just
months, you
saying.
can't even
I'm just saying 2 years. Let's say 2 years. Let's say the person knows how to pretend.
Don't you think some
so
people can
well.
pretend that long, that
No,
far?
no.
For 2 years?
Let's watch and see that exceptional pretender.
That is exactly what I'm trying to. Except the other person you want to get married to is so dumb and so daft that the
Or have
person
chosen not
has
to
chosen not to
see.
see, because there is no way the signs will not be there.
The day.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you are courting, that's the point you should know: is this person for me or not?
Now the
Okay.
question is, we know when you ask yourself, who is your friend?
Yeah, that's
Someone
very
who
important.
has your back.
Yeah.
Someone who can
How
defend
do you
you when you are
know
not
a
there.
real friend, not just a friend?
Now, most times when we go into dating, we allow sex cloud our sense of reasoning, because you can stay
interesting.
with your friend for the whole day, and you're not even thinking of sex, but you just love the company of this person.
Yeah.
When you've gotten to that point, then you know this person is my friend. But if you still have somebody that when you stay with, the only thing you think is sex, and after sex you're looking for the next place to go to, then you've not gotten to that point. You should be able to just love this person's company.
Okay.
Whether there is sex, whether every morning you just want to hear his voice or her voice, you just want to be around this person, even without thinking about sex. When you've gotten to that point, then you know we are getting somewhere.
Okay.
Because your friend, naturally, you don't have sex with your friend, but you just want to think of your friend, you want to buy little gifts for your friend. When you're going on the way and then you just think of something, say, this thing will be okay for this person. These are little gestures. You don't need
All right,
you
I
understand?
want to ask further because you're giving us the moral back into this topic. She said something interesting. You know, if you are actually maybe dating a friend, it's someone you feel comfortable around, someone you can stay with, you know, and maybe sex is not the priority. Now, you've met a lot of couples, you've counseled them, you've been doing this for 18 years. Do you think is enough factor or enough point to judge? Maybe because we are comfortable around someone and you cannot have any form of intimacy, that you can actually say that this person is my friend? Or are there other things to look out for to actually say that I think this person is a friend that I could possibly get married to?
I think the basic way to discover a friend is the one with whom the quality of your conversation flow is the best, will be your best friend. If you do not have good flow of conversation with a person, you're not like minds. And you know, people can become friends because they like each other, but they can hardly remain friends unless they are like each other. That's why you say birds of the same feather flock together. Or in Igbo, or in the one who thinks like me, talks like me, behaves like me, we agree. That's what you call compatibility of characters.
Okay. Now, about this one, you just said now.
He has a different opinion.
No, the same thing.
Okay.
You know, I talk to my friend all the time. So, what I discover is that people do change
Over time,
values.
Yeah. People change.
So, when your wife or husband decides to have a different value, decides to change along the line, if she doesn't like what she used to like before. So what happens? How do you cope?
Let me come in there. If your partner is an insensitive person from day one, you will know. If along the lines is like, I don't like this again, you notice from day one I used to do it.
Okay.
So that change did not just start.
For instance, let me say he wasn't a Christian, he wasn't a born again. So both of you were there together as born again. The one day she says, or he says to, I'm not more born again, it's fake or something like that.
Wasn't born again before.
Yes.
If he was born again, he would remain born again.
But how would you know? Because people can hide it
Because
effortlessly.
Yeah.
That you may not really find out. I've seen situations like that when maybe a lady that is very religious, maybe she's very how will I put it now, godly, so to say. You know, I have this guy that likes the lady, but he's not really the churchy type. But because he wants to get her attention, start going to the same church
for a long time.
Even join whatever organization, society that he could, the same church, just to get her attention. Gets the lady's attention. He gets married, and maybe a few months after their marriage, he's like, "Babe, see, I think I'm done with this church. Just do your thing. I won't disturb you. Just do your thing while I do my thing."
But do you know conversation reveals a lot of things?
If you've got up to 6 months, there's no way he will hide.
Because the person, the kind of zeal with which you talk about something shows your interest.
Or
if you're not interested, you will reveal it in conversation.
Pretend and be okay with it, hoping I will change. That I will change. I will change it is a very big problem.
It's a very big problem.
If you don't believe a thing and you're talking with me about the thing you don't believe, I will know.
No, see, no, I think.
So you don't think people can really be able to manage
to pretend.
If
you're discussing.
If you're really into that person, this love thing, it connects. It's a small thing.
Okay.
It connects.
Yeah.
You will feel at one point in time, you must feel one thing that this guy is not it.
But what I'm saying is not even the pretense. So this
girl,
this girl doesn't like. Okay, used to like to wear trousers, earrings. Then one day.
Yeah, she found Christ in quotes.
And decided
it doesn't matter. It will not matter.
If there is understanding.
Yeah, you just understand that she has found Christ and you.
You know what? I don't know what
you deal with her.
All these makeup and lipstick again. You know, I just want to. That I feel is affecting my. Now say please. I don't want that kind of.
I did same thing. Let me go. That was in 2022.
And I found out that it's okay. I still once in a while, I still look good for him.
Exactly.
And he
woke up
accepted.
one morning on the 2020, and he said to me, he was fasting and praying, and he woke up and said, "Babe, I don't want to drink anymore." And I looked at him. Who will drink with me?
Okay.
He wants to stop drinking alcohol. I looked at him and then who will drink with me? You know?
So, thank God he's here. So let me put it to him. So he didn't stop drinking?
No,
possibly.
he didn't. But he dropped from the normal, and it's okay.
So, Mrs. Sanctus, you made a decision to stop drinking. And you shared that with your wife. And she wasn't comfortable. Why didn't you follow? Is it because of she's not comfortable with you?
No, not really. You know, I used to hang out with some friends those days, you know, and I found out that very early in the morning when I wake up, I said if I'm going to work, hey, boy, how far now? Where you did? Say, oh boy, I did on reach now. Yeah, over the conference. For that, mother, let me just say who is that, and let me just see Bishop at I'm coming. Yeah, then I'm here. Before you know, the guy, we just say one bottle, okay? One bottle. So
it's more like peer pressure.
You get that kind of thing. Before you know, even if I don't want to, but because we are good together, before you know, we are already. You get the whole day. So one day I was like, why? So maybe, guy, how far? I said, okay, I'll meet you guys up, you know. I was talking to myself.
You're trying to...
You know, I was talking to myself, why will I be, you know, drinking like this?
Okay. Alright guys, I have a question. You know, we are with a topic. We are trying to look at inviting a third party. Is it necessary? Is it a bad idea? You know, then I have this question. Because I think we all seems to agree that there may not be need to get a third party involved.
If you marry your friend.
If you are married to your friends.
Exactly.
You understand? So, and I'm asking, why do we have these experts like Father here, you know, that talks to...
Even though I'm amateur.
18 years, I'm still amateur.
18 years amateur.
Okay. I think maybe when you get to 20, you're not considered a professional.
Let's hope.
Okay. And you have the marriage council. People pay. There are some of them that you pay heavily to get attention. And most times you see that they actually are able to resolve differences between couples or spouses. You understand? Some of them you find out that after meeting them, the couples get to resolve. So can we say that these people they are not needed? Because at the end of the day, there's a result.
I can come in here.
Okay.
The matter is simple.
Yes.
These people are not existing only for reactive purposes. They exist for proactive purposes. Couples have times they can take out to reflect on their marriage, on their relationship. Maybe 5 years after marriage, let's go on a retreat. The same way they went on honeymoon in the beginning. They come and they get this marriage counselor. He or she, or they even, will be looking into various issues that never even raised serious dust, because they want to upgrade their relationship. They wouldn't be waiting until there is trouble, then they begin to look for marriage expert counselors. So they exist the same way medical doctors exist. You go for checkup.
But most of you find out that these people only go to see this.
At the time they are serious trouble.
Thank you. Not like they are going to...
Are you okay? Most people do not even get married in the proper way. There was that mistake from day one. So by the time they meet that marriage counselor, they can correct that mistake and it never happen again.
Okay,
so
that's another one.
Another thing.
Because if there was that understanding from day one, like we said, love and all that, there won't be that problem of the third party. But they are there now because people still made that mistake of not marrying their friends, not marrying who they love.
Then sometimes you find out that what the therapists do is they bring them to talk to themselves. Most of the time, when you're in a session, in a therapist whatever session, they'll say, okay, speak your mind. They hardly advise you and advise you. They want you to keep talking. And then when you are talking, you are paying attention to each other. Something you will do at home. But the pride to listen to yourself and to want to pay attention and listen to your partner.
Then you need for a third party.
Let me come in.
You need for a third party. Because if this therapist is able to get the couples to talk to each other, which they couldn't do earlier, maybe because of pride.
Yeah.
Most of the time I feel it's because of pride. Maybe most of the time you find that these couples really want to resolve their differences.
But the need arises when they have not been real friends that can talk with each other.
Let me come in here, like as a parent. Sometimes your children have problems with themselves. And when they do, what do you do as a parent? You call this on, what's the problem? He tells you. What's the problem? She tells you. And you already know how to bring in this. Why did you do this? You know, when you do this, you did it wrong. You didn't do it right. Look at where you went wrong. Look at where you went wrong. Before you know, it's, oh, daddy, I didn't see it that way. I didn't know. Oh, daddy, apologize to him. Apologize to her. And before you know,
and sometimes they have issues and they resolve without even coming to you.
And now, find out that I have met a lot of married people who have children minds. They are not mature. Marriage is for mature minds, for mature people. That you have beards does not mean you are mature.
I feel like that.
Do you get what I'm saying? True. That you have beard, that you have chest, and you can doesn't make you mature. You get what I'm saying? So you find that such people, when you get into marriage, just little thing becomes a problem to them. Something that's not supposed to be a problem becomes a problem.
All right, so I think what I'm understanding from everything you're saying is that the need for third party arises when the two people involved are not really friends.
When the communication is not there. Once there's a communication gap, definitely the third party will come in to bridge that gap.
Okay, so now there is something that my friend is going through now. The mother-in-law came from Mobo, so automatically there is a third party. So it's affecting them. How do you checkmate that thing from happening when the mother-in-law is in the house with both of you?
The mother-in-law from the man's side or from the woman's side?
Woman's side.
The woman's side. Now, this is it. The woman knows her mother. She should be able to know how to checkmate her mother.
Most times you can't. There are very difficult mother-in-laws that
do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. They want to take
if it is the guy's mother, you should know how to talk to your mom.
Okay.
There are because she's a third party, there are boundaries where mommy not supposed to even cross.
So
basically issues that will be happening.
Let me ask the question. Is that really, Father, let me put it to you. Is it really a good idea for a mother-in-law from any of the sides, either the man or the woman, to get involved with issues involving the couples?
If they are invited, of course, you wouldn't chase them away. But they shouldn't go there and force themselves in.
Mrs. Ogechukwu, what is your opinion? You think it's necessary?
Yeah, they're invited.
They're invited. So are they not third parties?
They are.
That's why I said if
they're invited.
So that means,
okay.
So therefore, you should not.
That means the couple can choose who to invite.
Yes.
So that
it's
means
their
there is a
marriage.
need.
No, not.
We never said there is no need there, but there can be need at a given time. Yes.
Okay.
We said it should not be I said it should not be the first recourse.
Okay.
But the last resort. They can talk to themselves with themselves. They can also talk to God, who is the first. But at a certain time, they might not even be hearing God again because the cacophony in their heads. Then they will need human beings actually to address them, just like my brother said, immature, children-minded kind of marriage.
Okay, so talking about what you said about God, I've heard couples tell me that, Bishop, don't ever spiritualize marriage. Don't always say God. God have to apply your own solution to something. So
remember, it is their opinion, no.
See, this
it is their opinion.
Because I believe marriage is more spiritual than physical.
Exactly.
Take away God from marriage and your marriage.
Shut us. Whatever God joins together.
When you take away God, you find that marriage is difficult.
It's a burden.
Yes.
It's a burden.
It becomes, but with God, there are things you...
In complete the ceremony, we say, whatever God joins together, let no man put asunder. That is, let no man try to separate. Not that a man can't separate it, but that separation would be damaging it. It's like when you get this paper and you join it with strong gum. Someone comes to separate it. You tell him, don't try to separate it. He might think he has some power to separate it, and then it will still be one on its own, the other on its own. But on trying to do that, he will destroy the paper. So you go to destroy marriage whenever you try to separate, because it is God that plays that role of joining them together and sustaining them in that togetherness. So they will always make recourse always to Him. A family that prays together, we always say, stays together.
Father, to help Bishop, you're coming from a Christian point of view.
Exactly.
When we say God, let's not come from a Christian point of view. God is God in the sense that what is God? Everything good. Okay. So even traditionalists to whoever, once you have God in mind, the whole thing works. Okay. So let's not look at it as just God as
I will not take this that everything good is. I know, but God is God. God is. You can't just tell me everything good is God. I wouldn't take, unless actually what you mean is God is everything good, but not everything good is God.
I know that if I do this to my spouse, that is bad. That means I have a God.
I understand you. I understand you, but you know who God is.
I tell you, once you have a God consciousness.
God consciousness is a good statement. He's always telling me marriage is spiritual, it is not social. Marriage is basically social. And God always wants it to be social. He never gave you, for example, senses that are spiritual. Your senses are for interpersonal relationships.
Like spiritual thing. That's why I said about connection.
Okay, so I want a practical example. You know, the spirituality of marriage.
Okay, let me come. Okay, even not about just marriage, life generally. Do you know common house help? If I get a house help and my spirit does not connect with him or her, sorry, I don't say. If I come to a gathering now, if my spirit does not connect with you, it's a natural thing. When we have spiritual, we think it's maybe you should be in church, be in Jesus. Spiritual means spiritual.
Let me also come in here.
Spiritual, physical, and emotional.
Maybe I will help him to know what spirituality is. The spiritual is that substrate of your being that exists at all moments. It's active. It's active. Even when you're not seeing, even when you're sleeping. Don't you dream? Yes. Your spirit is still active. It's never asleep. It's not like your senses. It's not even like your emotions. No. They are all dependent on it. And if you ignore the spirit when you are living your life, you'll be making a lot of mistakes.
So when choosing your wife, when choosing your friend, because I've seen people that married their friends that had big issue, they broke up. So do you need to pray? Does it work really in the real sense? Like if you pray for a wife and then
it depends on what you call prayer.
It depends on what you call prayer. Let me give you an instance. You see, I don't believe when people say I found someone, take him to your pastor or your priest. If he says he's the one, I don't believe in that.
Okay. I'll even give you an example that you will not like or you will like, depending. I met a man who changed church.
Okay.
I asked him, why did you change church? He said, it was after my marriage, because people often change church. So I was interested. What makes you change? Your faith is not firm or what? He said, I changed from, it was a Pentecostal church, from one to another, because I got into problem with my pastor after my marriage. I told him I was to marry. He told me to bring 3 people, out of whom, after prayers, of course 3 names, not bring the individuals. The 3 names, out of whom after prayers, he will tell me the one. The man told me, I gave my pastor 3 names. And among those 3 names, the number 1 was my best. The number 2, the second best. The number 3 was just the one I didn't like so much because she has big eyes. Okay. According to him, I'm quoting. Then at the end of the day, the pastor finished his prayer and chose the 3rd one for me. But that didn't end it because the pastor was still single. That didn't end it. The pastor wedded us, and when I went in with my wife and we were living, after a while, the pastor called us to wed. The pastor was to wed with the first one, who was also his own friend. He was interested too. So
that brings my question.
That means spirituality is fake.
It's fake.
It doesn't mean that there is no prophecy or divinity.
But I'll come here this way now. Please, if you are going to talk about a relationship, it is your thing. It is your thing. Relationship is interpersonal. This is where even the 3rd party dependence is begins the problem. Now you go to a person and tell the person, pray for me to tell me who to relate with.
Yes.
When the person doesn't even know the person.
But you're the person to relate with this person, and you're not, God is not your enemy. The right thing would be pray. But what is prayer? That is the first thing.
Talking to God.
The prayer of search. When we said your spirit is always active, and you will have to shut down all the distractions of the senses. You know why people fast when they actually want to hear God? They want to liberate their spirit by bringing down the forces of the flesh, for example. The same with your senses. That's why you close your eyes when you actually want to. And if you can, block your ears with some cotton wool. I mean, a lot of things will be closed up. And then, inside, that's even why people go for a retreat to the desert. Yes. They go there and they are alone. And you begin to see beyond or hear beyond what the senses provide. And you know what you're coming. The purpose is my partnership for life with somebody. There are so many people you've related with. You might even be having so many people you'll be considering, and it would happen like God telling Samuel to go to the house of Jesse to choose somebody. There will be someone you never thought about that might come to your head. Bah! It will be like Eureka. I found him or I found her. But praying is personal prayer in communication with God, not calling someone to intervene.
Father just reminded me, I don't know, in Isaiah or so, Isaiah, somewhere in Isaiah, it says, a woman can be the wife of any man, but a man chooses
his wife
carefully.
So it is you that go for the search,
not your pastor.
So when you see a woman, they do shakara for you, and you like her, Poshua. I was in Zaria. In the Nigeria Army Depot, Zaria. But this woman never left my mind. Immediately I left Zaria. Piam! I went to Lagos straight. The first place I went to, I just dropped my bag. Bam! Taka. I knocked. And guess what? She was in the house already having that feel that I'm going to see this guy today. I'm going to see this guy. Immediately I opened the door, she saw me. It was like, and that's how it is.
So you both liked each other prior to them?
I can be somewhere. Yeah, that's why I said she's my best friend. I can be somewhere
and have
a thought in my heart. I would say, I'll just pick my phone and say, babe, I'm just thinking the same thing.
Okay.
It's obvious.
This is the only one I don't know about because it never happened to me.
Not once, not
twice. But you are the people to tell us. This is your area.
No, now, this thing now. That I said this morning that some people, like marriage is luck. Some people are lucky. Hold on now. Let me learn now.
Okay.
Let's hear you.
For my friends, so I'm my friends. Some actually dated their friends, which I'm well aware of. The ones that got married,
everything has changed.
They were pretentious of doing it.
I'm telling you, there are a lot of red flags. They ignored. Yes.
Especially when you are above the age of our so-quoted age of getting married.
Yes.
In that of the world, you're like anything you see, closing your eyes, and you know you don't like it.
You overlook those
but you
things.
still want to go in.
Okay.
So all these are married
won't tell you
later. Is a lie.
And they won't tell you.
They won't tell you.
No,
I don't really.
There's also something.
Okay.
Sometimes that will not be. It's not premeditated. It's not like of purpose.
Yeah, it's
just your mind just blows and you want to get married.
It's true.
So you overlook this.
Do I also add that some people actually do not go to marry persons, but maybe some qualities of the persons. For example, this lady is beautiful, curvy, that's my interest. He is rich or handsome, my interest. And
daughter.
Connected, social connection, all such interests will fade away. I had one preacher say, if you marry for the sake of beauty, for example, you know you would need to marry every day because the beautiful ones are not yet born. So you can see people who are going to marry, if you want to make friend, you make friend with a person. That word person can be interpreted as capacity for relationship. That's why you cannot call lower animals beasts, persons.
Wow.
God,
But do you know,
even though one God is three persons, which is God is himself in a relationship. Relationship between three persons in one God. That is according to our Christian faith. Angels are also persons. They are personal beings. They are in relationships, even with us, with God, with themselves, including the bad angels. Human beings are persons, and in that being persons, they resemble God who made them in his image and likeness. So when you are marrying, you're marrying a person. And even if all the qualities, that is what I call accidental qualities of that person, get fade away in any way, that the beauty, or even the person, like we say, in sickness and in health. You know, sickness can disfigure people. Yes. And if sickness disfigures your friend, you are talking about this person. The very essence of personhood is in the character. By character, I don't mean behavior. I mean who he or she is. And that is who you marry.
I want to believe you've heard living a lie. That's what a lot of people do today. They live a lie.
unknowingly, some
Unknowingly. Some even knowingly. You don't tell
How do you
your
live a
friend.
life unknowingly?
Let me
some
see.
people don't know themselves.
True.
They just move with what comes.
Yes, anything that
Just move
flows.
with trend.
Yes.
But sometimes there are quiet moments. If sometimes
Yes,
they never start thinking.
It's like I'm messing up.
But
Well, it
at
doesn't
the first,
Wow.
Saying
No.
the truth. See,
indeed, Father, I would like to ask a question. Whether beauty or ugliness or whatever, why do men still move out of that relationship?
Why do
Men.
still?
Move out of it.
Okay, I mean infidelity now.
Yeah. Because now you're talking about you married a girl out of beauty, or some men now, this is a wife material, that's how they call it.
100
She
years.
can cook, she can serve me,
She's
she can do
beautiful.
this, she can.
But these are not even reasons for marriage. Can cook, can do this.
That's what
That's even not the reason.
tell you, it's a
most
wife
people-
material.
That's
She's
part of-
humble, she will
yeah.
respect me.
That's part of-
She respects
that's part
my
of
mom.
even
Human relationship is beyond cooking,
No,
respecting
okay.
me, not
I think
respecting
that's
me.
a topic. Why we topic for
Understand.
that?
Ah.
Why do I think why we topic between men and women, which is the most? Why do? But I think why you're asking is why do men, even after they have
The so-called wife
wife material
still go out.
pretty?
Because Father said you don't have to marry based on
Beauty.
connection or this beauty, or I mean based on qualities per
Okay.
se.
No, qualities would be there.
Not what
I'm not opposed to good qualities, but I'm saying they are accidental. If you get a person who is your friend, those qualities might even not be
But
there,
once we
Yeah.
but the friend is a
There
friend.
must be a point
So
of
quality,
attraction.
yes.
That's what I
Yes.
Things that
said.
were attractive.
That's what I said,
Yes,
brother.
sure.
When I said in the beginning that people become friends because they like each other.
minds.
Those like each other. I might like you because you're handsome.
That's
You
the first
become my
attraction.
friend. That's first attraction. But if I come in and you become disagreeable, that is, you are not like me. That stops it. I can't pretend further. But some people keep on pretending. Maybe
Exactly.
you still keep
Force
pushing.
yourself.
so many years back. So many years back. I did not come for this woman. I came for somebody else. I came for somebody else.
In the same family.
In the same family.
In the same family. Wow.
Yes.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
As a
I had
guy.
a story like
As
that.
a guy. If you see our elder sister, so beautiful, pretty, everything.
Wow. So you
She
initially
was
attracted to the rest.
that's
Exactly.
I was attracted to the elder sister.
So what changed?
But nothing actually changed. Immediately I walked into the house.
And you
She
saw her.
came in, gave me water to drink. Just the way she gave me water to drink.
That was the point of attraction.
That's all.
Finished.
was that
First time,
the?
that's-
Yeah, I'm trying to make a joke.
Yes, please.
Was that the first love portion?
It's like
just
The
person I came
made
to,
in
yeah,
quotes
the
in the house.
person I came to
And
see,
you were aware of who he came to look for.
Yes,
the,
and it was
the person
just
I
be-
came to see
That was the first of seeing him.
sat down. I was just looking at me. I sat down. She just came and said, "What can we offer you?" I said, anything.
I think this is
She
your
went.
question of first impression.
Yes.
matters.
She
Matters,
went.
And the last.
Water to drink.
Yeah, last two.
Immediately she gave me the water to drink. I said, no more. In my heart, I just said, no more.
I'm switching allegiance.
Why this one was already showing me all the... My friend, take this thing from me and leave this place now. I was like, oh my God. And immediately, the first time I told her, would you be my girlfriend? She said, no. And she told me that no for close to...
A year and 3 months.
No. I kept coming. I kept coming. She would tell me no. Until, as God will have it, we became friends.
Okay.
And since we became friends,
You've remained friends.
we've been friends till today.
We can see the friendship here.
So I think guys, we've able to establish that inviting a third party could actually be a possibility.
It's necessary.
But might not be if the two people involved are very good friends.
Yes.
That they could be able to resolve
Communication.
communicate and resolve their
Issues.
differences. So that means we are not completely removing
out
scrapping
Third party.
No.
the party.
No.
I think there is need.
But if people are listening to this program now,
Okay.
they should be able to, I mean, people that have not married before,
Yeah.
should be able to pick that. For me to marry, I have to marry my friend. So there won't be need for that third party on
party.
the basis of
Yes.
resolving issue, but rather for retreats
Yes.
issues like
Huge.
that.
To learn more and more how to make old things new in your marriage.
Please, I know it's not part of our listen, but one question, please. When we were saying no, what was on your mind that time we were telling you no?
No, my female shakara now.
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying,
You you like him?
Sure.
yes, very well. In fact, the first time I saw him, I was like, wow.
So the no was a yes, no kind of no. We know that no.
If she sees me with another girl, she'll be so angry.
With all the big no's.
Yeah, with all the no's.
But I don't know cases whereby there is no for no, as in real.
Of course, there should be no
Later in
follow.
life, and like the no becomes real yes.
Okay.
Okay. These are all that we meet in life. Life is so mysterious.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Wow, guys, I believe you're having so much fun on the show. I mean, it has been very engaging. Very enlightening too. Me personally, I've learned a lot. You know that a third party can actually be brought in if the couples involved are not really able to have a conversation because they are not friends.
Or if they want.
If they want, I think that stresses the point to marry your friend. Even though I still have a problem, how do you? I think that's the problem for most people. How do you really figure out that this person is a real friend? Trust me, in as much as we want to argue it, people can hide their real character or their real attitude or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And for most people, they're not really equipped to discern enough that this person, most times, not that they're not equipped, because you are carried away either by maybe what you're getting or love. Some people call it love. Or you don't really sit down to think, this person, I'm into this with, what is he actually made of? Like, what are his or her attributes? Is he really what I want? And most people, they know really, but most times there is this I can make you work.
Exactly.
I will
You
change
understand?
him.
I will change
I will
or
change
you
him.
will
Yeah.
change.
Mm.
You understand?
That's a deception.
Exactly. Most people do know that this person might not actually be it, but along the line, let me just because
But are there cases where you have really changed somebody?
There might be cases. We live in a life of constant change.
No, you don't change
people
somebody.
change
Somebody will
over
decide
time.
to change.
of course,
Yeah.
that's
Not
true.
that you are the
can't
one who
change
have
the person.
changed.
You-
Because of my constant efforts, because of my
Trying to talk to
to
you.
him or
He will now decide. Or
Yeah.
she will decide it's okay because of what you've been saying. Let me.
Or even other encounters.
And not other person.
It might also be at the place of work.
Yes.
He has been hearing from married people how well they live in their homes,
Okay.
and we decide I'll make my own work.
you know your questioning. I think commitment and
Very
then
important.
one's aspiration and goals can determine those true friendship. Our ideas, no matter how sweet it is, there's a point in time that you cannot hold it. Things the person says, the way he reacts to things, his ideas, will be telling you
Does this person have my interest at
It's not
heart?
even my friend.
Because sometimes
That's
when
when
you're
they
telling
don't
somebody
close
your
your eyes and
goals,
say,
the person
I
don't
want
care.
to keep trying.
There's one thing.
Yes.
If there's one thing I know about friendship, is truthfulness.
Honesty.
Truthfulness.
The Bible says the devil is the father of all
Lies.
And nowadays we have they call frenemies.
Yes.
The person pretends to be your friend, but if to know your real friend, the person tells you the truth, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. I might come now. I might just be talking to my wife now. My mom just, babe, did you brush this morning? Babe, go brush. Go brush. And I will remember, maybe I may have forgotten that I even didn't brush. Go brush. I said, really?
So being able to tell you the truth, even when it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
When it's hot, you tell me.
Uncomfortable truths.
Yeah, that's real friendship.
Of course, I wonder which truth that is not bitter.
Truth is always bitter.
Yeah, the truth is always bitter. So they say.
There's something that Mrs. Oraka raised, a question she addressed to me. She asked something like, even though some of these qualities that people like exist and continue to be in their marriage, why, the way she put it is, why do men still something like cheat?
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, is it only men that cheat?
I thought that's what I was going to say.
At least it would be
Men
put,
cheat with.
who do they cheat with?
Exactly.
I tell my wife-
I have that's the topic for that.
I tell my wife every day.
Yeah.
I tell my wife every day that women are the problem to women.
I still don't believe that.
It's
And I tell you
single
every
ladies.
day.
No.
You said what?
We are all
Just
problems.
Single ladies. I've seen
Women are problems, men are problems.
But I tell my wife,
Infidelity is
women are
infidelity.
problems to themselves.
But the way I will put it is, naturally, women have the greater capacity to say no to this longer truth kind of sexual desire that men have. Yes. So, and if they perform this rule of saying no,
No.
men will, unless they are raping people now, but if there is no rape,
Says that.
there will be less infidelity.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Oh.
All right, guys. I think it has been a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Very interesting session, and I believe the audience they've heard different opinions and what we all have to say about inviting the a third party,
Yeah.
and if it's necessary or not. We've had Mr. and Mrs. Sanctus, very interesting couple, and it's very interesting.
Best friends.
Yeah, best friend, and very interesting story how they met. So, and we've had Mrs. Oraka, CEO Biruki Oil Ventures, very interesting individual too, and she also shared her own opinion. Then we also heard from Reverend Father Maximus Moujeke, yes, chaplain, Archbishop Ekiobi Opuna, Retreat Center, Oka.
Opuna.
In Oka.
Opuna is in Opuna. In Oka South local government area.
But Oka is inside.
Okay, Oka is there.
Alright, Father, thank you for being on the show.
Alright.
For giving us your moral back into the topic. Yes, and I had Bishop, Mr. Bishop, yes, co-founder Reality Entertainment TV, and he's the only single person on this very session. So I believe Bishop,
I've heard.
this will help you make the right choice, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of interesting topics. On that note, thank you everybody for being part of the show.
Thank you.
I look
Thank
forward to
you,
having you again. I want to
Mr.
have you guys
Chooks.
on another topic, because we are looking at discussing how to stay married. Both couple, both Mr. and Mrs. Sanctus and Mrs. Oraka, whom couldn't be here with her husband, have been married. I actually admire you guys' marriages. That's why I invited you on the show. I feel you guys have a very close marriage. So I think we would love you to share with us how you were able to do it. On that note, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.